we are with Jo Perkins, somebody that I've been following on Instagram for a very long time, and your paintings are beautiful, your color palettes are gorgeous, and I just really wanted to talk to you about your experience with this whole lockdown thing that we're in, and just kind of your creativity and all those things. But I wanted to start with asking you to tell us about your lockdown story. So how have things changed since we've been in this situation?
Yeah, I've got a 6-year-old, and so life has changed a great deal. I used to paint 9 to 3 most days, sometimes longer, depending on after school activities. And now I don't get to do that anymore. So I have to be mum all day rather than just in the morning and the evening. So I have had to reduce my painting times to really small snippets, and I've started painting in the evening, and I've started to paint just for an hour, but I've been trying to work out ways to make it more efficient, and so I do colour pots, little pots of colour. They get mixed in 15-minute blocks, maybe after lunch, and then in the evening I can just come and paint. Just get on and throw myself at it.
And so do you have a time that you've ring-fenced for yourself for your creativity?
So my husband, I suppose, finishes work at about 5, and at 5 o'clock I come down to the basement, and that's me. I'm out of the picture, done. So that's an hour, 5 till 6, 5 to 6:30. I'm down in my studio, and that's my time every day.
That is so good.
So no, I if I don't do it, I'll get miserable and upset. So it's part of staying upbeat, is being able to come and mess around with pretty colours and make nice pictures.
Yeah, and so before we officially started the interview, Jo and I were raving about the Fauves.
Love the Fauves.
I know, they're so amazing. And she even held up a picture of one of the paintings that I've been talking about in my lessons to children. And I just think, you know, it was so brave of them to really step out and do new and wonderful things. And at the time, it was just like, you know, the art world, they were like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What is this? Terrible monstrosity, terrible things. I love their boldness of colour. I've always been interested in colour, and for me they are, what to live up to. Wow. Just that saturation power of colour, and it makes you feel so many different things, and it makes you feel alive when you look at them, and that's, wow, what an inspiration. I love them. Just fabulous.
They're so good. And so in January I went to Houston for my brother's wedding, and I went to the Houston Art Gallery, Modern Art, or I can't remember the specific name of it, and they had an impressionist exhibition, and then kind of what happened next was in the other room. And it was great because they really did spend a lot of their wall space on Berta Morso, who I've not seen her artwork before, and she was in there with, you know, Monet, and just like, you know, she's just been completely, well, not completely forgotten, but not as
not quite
as the guys. And so I swung around and I saw a Matisse painting, a still life painting, and the way that he used pink and green together, it was just like this shock of pink next to this red, next to this like super green and yellow lemon lime, you know, arrangement. And I stood in front of that thing longer than I did anything else. People, and to the point where people had to sort of move around me.
Around you.
And I'm like, I just want to take it in. I want to like absorb whatever it is that I can from this.
Yeah. I like the the kind of the theory going out the window. I love the idea of a bright pink next to a bright red. You're supposed to really do that because that shouts and that sort of thing. Or I love that I've been looking at these color palettes that do all sorts of things that have colors in that I wouldn't usually use. So I've gone a slight color odyssey and started using a green I really wouldn't ever use, but somehow the green that I'm using makes the pink and the blue next to it really sing. I've got one here. So it's just that color,
yeah,
which isn't on its own isn't something you'd necessarily want, but the pink and the blue next to it just shout out then. So that's the sort of thing they were doing, and that's fascinating. God, it's lovely stuff.
so good. So one of the questions I wanted to ask, and it's a question that I'm asking everybody because I think we can learn from each other, is if your day's just not going how you want it to, or if it's, you know, rainy or whatever, how do you turn your day around? Like if you caught yourself and you're like, it's not going well, and there's something that you can do, what is the thing that you do?
I have to paint. It's normally I do an underpainting. So I do really bright underpaintings. They tend to be sort of veering on floral. They're abstract. They're very, very vibrant. And I find that either mixing color, because there's something about achieving a big lump of luscious color, which is just heaven. That's probably something I love to do. You just get 3 colors, and from 3, so all of my color mixing is based on 3 colors. So you get 3 colors and you use them to make something, a big pile of pink that's really luscious, or a big pile of green. And I end up making giant color swatches. That calms me down. Or just making a mess, just making a big mess on a board like this one.
Even your mess is gorgeous.
Just making lovely big splodges of color, and I think it's letting that inner child out. It's kind of going, this is I need to go and play. Like kids get to do it, so now I do too.
Yay! Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it was wonderful speaking to you today, and yeah, I look forward to seeing what happens on